You made it!
Yay! I'm so.
We are live.
I almost called you or I almost texted you and said I cannot get on. We're having a huge storm here.
Oh,
So
yeah, storm on the West Coast.
Yeah. So, and I just didn't expect it to be so wonky with our service. So, if the lights go out, that's what's going on.
Well, we're grateful for the time you're here. And
thank you.
I knew something.
Sorry, everybody, that I'm late. Sorry about that.
They didn't even know.
Okay.
But here we are.
Here we are.
Blessed Friday to everyone. And Yay. For those of you on the West Coast experiencing the storm, stay warm and cozy. And Cassie get on her way. Okay, is she still?
She's still here. She's staying one more week.
Oh, good.
So she's going to stay for Thanksgiving, and so we're really happy about that.
Yay!
Yay!
That is good news. Okay, good. Yeah. I thought it was kind of like it's right before Thanksgiving. Just stay one more week.
That's what I kept saying, and it just kind of worked out that way. So I manifested it. No problem.
All right. Well, it is Friday, and it is amping up, isn't it? The energy in regard to what is happening around the globe, but here in general, since we are here in these states, amping up. And I just feel that what we hear in the news and what's going to play out is just going to get ugly.
Yeah.
It's going to get worse. And the things that we hear are going to be like, oh no. And so it's important to stay. I mean, what my guides are telling me is to stay focused on the love energy and keeping, staying out of the fear energy, because you kind of go, well, what if? You know what I mean? What if this horrible person gets into office? And I think I shared this earlier this week, but Barbara Streisand, I heard an interview with her, and she's like, I'll move. I'm moving.
Well, I think we all have a plan B. You have to have a plan B, and that will put your mind at ease too, because then at least you know what you're doing.
Yeah. And so she's like, Tina, thank you. Blessings to you. So yeah, what if? I mean, our world would change. Literally our world and our world, my world would change.
It would. I think that, I mean, I've always gotten that he's not going to win. I mean, he's clearly just getting so desperate, and it's sad. It's sad for our country. I think everybody's exhausted. I think everybody's tired. It's interesting because a few days ago, I think it was Monday, I got a message that which is kind of interesting, from my guides kind of warning me, telling me, but then telling kind of everybody, wanting me to tell everybody that to try really hard to be really careful about how much news you watch right now, and also to not dwell in Trump's energy, because I guess and to me, even stepping into it, it has changed. But they're saying his energy has changed, and it actually is quite can affect our vibration. It can affect our energy field. So try not even like listening to his voice, seeing his face, things like that. So if you can avoid it, do, because I got that message kind of out of nowhere that he is. He's dangerous to us spiritually. And so we have to just be kind of aware of that and stay out of that energy as much as possible.
Yes. Good word. And thank you to your team for bringing that through, because that is so true. He is dangerous to our spiritual. And LLC says, I was so distressed by my coworkers speaking positively about, I know it's shocking to still hear people talk about or have their stickers and stuff like that. It's shocking. But again, we have to stay out of that energy.
And I think you have to put him in a different category. Don't think of him as a politician. Think of him as a cult leader. This is a cult, and this is a cult leader.
There you go.
They only believe what he says. It doesn't matter what even authorities say. It's what he says. So just know that they were brainwashed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, they've kind of been trapped by their own people that they hate or people that they're prejudiced against. And all of those things have made it kind of a perfect prison for these people. But just know that they're under a spell, and he is a cult leader. He's not a politician. He really isn't. So think of it that way, and then maybe it'll be helpful, or it'll let us know how to put this in perspective, how to see this, because it's all crazy. And yeah.
It's like a trapped animal, and it just gets worse and worse. And that's what we're seeing play out.
Mm-hmm.
And Connie says, I think Trump did bring out the need to amend the Second Amendment in the judicial system.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So
yes, a lot is going to change after this is done. Even in I even feel, even in the Republican Party, I feel like there's going to be kind of a groundswell when they lose again, and they're going to lose again, because not even the issues that they are, they're against the police, they're against, abortion, they're, or women's health, they're against so many things, and they want to ban books, and it's just, none of these ideas are popular at all. And we're talking 80-20%. It's 80 to 20. Yeah. It's not even close. So an unpopular candidate with all of the issues backwards, guns, everything is backwards. It's just not going to happen, even if there's a third candidate. Because I asked my guides that specifically. Mm-hmm. What if because that's how he got in before, right? The Jill Stein effect. They said, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen.
So with that note, I'm sticking to what my guides also have said, and he's not going to get in. It's not going to happen. But however, let's do our jobs and continue to show up to vote and keep speaking truth, and shine our lights, because it's the dark. It's getting kind of dark.
It is
figuratively, but
it is, yeah, absolutely. And I think it's okay to feel afraid sometimes, or it's okay to feel the feelings, but then release them, let them go, give them to source, and just know that that's the human part of us. We have a big, our ego holds a big fear, place in us. So it's okay to feel those things. You don't have to just, not feel anything, because it's normal. It's normal to look around the world and think, oh, we don't want to have a chaotic leader too, and have all these awful things happen here. So it's okay to feel those feelings, but then let them go. Give them to source and
let them go.
Release them. Yeah.
And where was it? Oh, where did it go? I lost it. Oh, lost the comment. Sorry. Okay. There's lots of caps, and some of them are comments and some are questions. So I just want to make sure. But yeah, so let's stay in the light. Let's keep the light going. And yeah, that's all I can say. But I do feel like each one of us offers something unique at this specific time in history, in our energy, in our awareness, in the way that we can shine our light or love out into the universe. We offer something unique. So stand in your power, guys. Stand in your power. And no matter what you see on the news and what plays out, stand in your power. Stand in your power. And know the truth.
And something lifts in spring. I kept getting that it was going to be a very rough fall and winter. Something happens around March that is kind of lifts everything. So maybe it's a conviction, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's something else. But so it really is a matter of just kind of like we're in the roller coaster, just hang on. We've got seatbelts. It's okay. We've got our spiritual seatbelts. It's all right. We'll make it through. And we will reach the end, or at least a smoother ride.
And Terry at Holding Your Space, we love you. She says, shine, shine, shine. Yes. Don't let anybody put your shine out. Eleanor says, I never knew that there was so much corruption in the government. Yeah. You knew that, it's, shady. It's always kind of been, you kind of, poo-poo it, that's happening. But this amount,
right.
Right.
Right. The unearthing, right? Everything's coming out. All
the underbelly is being shown.
Yeah. It needed to happen because then we can deal with it, face it, and change it. If you don't know it's there, you can't do anything. But there has been so much brought to the light. I mean, did you know there were so many people that wanted a fascist government in our among us?
Right.
I'm like, what? But yeah, they're just full on like we just want one leader. And if life's not going great and everybody is making you angry and you're exhausted with your own life, I could see the appeal of having just one person making all the decisions and just letting it all go. I could see that. But that's not how it works in a real dictatorship, right? We all know that it doesn't just stop with a couple of things here and there. It goes. People get start getting knocked off. Their corruption bills. It doesn't end well. And why they'd want to start quoting people like Hitler or Mussolini, it makes no sense. I'm like, do you not know how those stories end? What do you think's going to be different with you, especially with you, because you're dumber than
Yeah.
It's like they were 10 times as bright as you, and they were, it did not end well for them. So what do you think your life's going to be?
Exactly.
It's so weird. Exactly. Sorry.
No, I know. This is why we're here.
It's so unbelievable.
And Melody says there's light glow with these live streams. So that's what we come here to do. Just continue to encourage you to keep your light going. And
it's a spiritual tune-up.
Spiritual tune-up. I like it. All right. Let's dive into the questions. If you are.
Hey, Jonathan.
And we are streaming from both channels. So if you don't see all the comments, that's why. We'll try to share the comments that as best we can back so you all can see all of the comments. All right, Carol. Hello. Carol asks, will the law clerk in Trump's fraud trial be safe as he continues to target her on social media? Okay, and a couple of people asked this question because I feel like that there's another. Yeah, Sweetie Darling Lulu also is asking that same question. Is the New York clerk going to be safe with so much attention being on her?
I feel like she has protection, and she moved. Either she's moving or she moved. I feel like she had to move. I don't know if anybody knows anything about that, but that's what I'm getting.
I heard safe house, which could be metaphorical to us moving to safety. So,
but I feel like she'll be okay. You know, some of these people, I feel like they have almost divine protection. It's kind of, you know, they have a spirit team.
They do.
They have angels like everybody else. And I feel like some of these people have been really kind of divinely protected, because the stuff is going down in our, you know, in this country. And I think we have, it just like it should be all hands on deck here, it's all hands on deck on the other side. They're not oblivious to what's going on. They know. So, but I feel like she'll be protected, both physically on the physical level, but also I feel like you know, her guides and angels are looking out for her.
I agree. And I have, she's going to be okay. I have the World as the theme card, and that's a successful ending to this whole situation for her. And she has a team helping balance this out and keep her safe. And more of the outcome, this is going to pay off. It's going to pay off for her.
Good.
Reps in the end there. So, thank goodness. It's what really gets me going is that he continues his rhetoric, and people's lives are upended and completely have to switch because he's just blah blah blah.
Yeah. Well, he's in survival mode, right? So he's just doing everything and anything he can to upend the whole process, because he's going to go to jail. So he doesn't want to go to jail. And he's only self-serving. He's never been otherwise. So that's what's happening. So yeah, exactly. He can't, and he probably won't be quiet unless they put a full gag order on him.
They have to, and he's pushing it, like we say every week when we're on. He's trying.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, exactly. He's really, really trying to get
begging for it. Begging for all this to take down. Yeah. All right, Pegasus. Hello. How is Trump's health, and what do you each see for the next 6 months for him? Is he flipping out? Well, yes, like we said, he's a caged animal, and he's scratching at anything he can that walks by.
I'm getting heart, brain, but then they also said like intestinal. So I'm getting those three things like up front. I feel like he's in just awful shape. When you step into his energy, you feel it. It feels so, it does feel like his light is fading in a way. He's in awful health. And also, it also feels like he is, the stress has been really hard on his heart. So,
yeah. Okay.
It literally, I mean, I don't want to, and I'm not putting it out there for anything. It's entertainment purposes only. It could be any day. We literally could wake up, because he's in that bad of health. And it really is like things could just shut down one night, or a heart attack or something. And I feel like he never fully, his heart never fully recovered from COVID. I feel like that was a big thing. So, but it literally could be like that, where all of this commotion is going on, and then one day we just hear he's gone. And, you know. And the clouds open up and the angels come.
Angels come and pick him up.
And the choir of angels sing.
The choir of angels.
But it is like it is like that. It's kind of like it could be like literally any day. He's a ticking time bomb where health is concerned.
Yeah.
And he has no interest in taking care of himself. He doesn't sleep. He doesn't eat well. He doesn't, he doesn't exercise. He rides in his golf cart. He's just, and then the stress. He's just not in good health.
Mm-hmm. And his lack of attention to it. So I do see here also with, so we can see it in these little cards. Here he is, the King of Swords in reverse, and that is dictator card. You can see it even says dictator on it. Oppressive, brutal, controlling dictator person. It's coming to an end in the next few months, and then over the next 6 months, there's going to be disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. And what his desire to be this is coming to an end with that World card. He's just lack of taking care of himself, lack of anything. There's no progress for him, and he has to move on. One way or another, he's moving on. However that looks.
Yeah.
So again, Kim read my card.
Well, and he doesn't look like the picture of health, but when you actually like move into him, he really does. It feels like so many things are broken or breaking.
Yeah. Does not feel good.
And how do you live with no love at all? Just hate and hate and grudges and vengeance. I mean, I can't even imagine how awful that would be. I mean, in a way, he already really is in prison, because I can't imagine.
Well, he's in his own prison,
yeah.
And this is excruciating as he sees his wealth being, whatever wealth he had, being taken away. I saw that. We both saw that he would his financial demise.
And can I just say, I feel like the money that he will be owing, he doesn't have it. So I do feel like he's going to have to get rid of a property or sell a property. Or they seize one, because he doesn't have it. He does not have the cash flow. He owes everybody, and he doesn't own anything. It's all banks and Russia, and it's different people that have loaned him money, and he owes everyone. And I do feel like a property will go. I often thought it might be the Scotland one for some reason. I don't know why. Because he's got, mother buried in New Jersey. So he probably won't get rid of that one. And we all know there's something in that casket besides mother. Right. And I can't, and Mar-a-Lago's kind of his Hearst Castle. So he's not getting rid of that. So I thought it might be the Scotland one. But you guys can.
And Scotland would probably be happy to cut those ties with him anyway. Yeah. Right. Yeah. All right. Okay. Deanne, hello. So Deanne is asking, did she share incriminating info with Biden regarding Trump or Putin?
Incriminating.
Okay.
I'm not getting that he shared info, but I'm getting that he did let him know that he doesn't want Trump to be president. Because it's just, that kind of chaos is just, it's not good for anybody. And I think she is very much all about the money, the economy, the technology. He's all about that. And I feel like with Trump in, he wouldn't be able to trust him at all as far as he can throw him. And he also, it could upset the economy even more for them. So I feel like he told him outright, whether Biden believes him or not, I don't know, but I feel like he was being sincere that he said, I don't want him to be president.
And what I got with him on Wednesday when I read on this meeting was that she, well, he's a businessman, and that's how he runs his country, and he will do what's best business wise for himself.
Mm-hmm.
And so connecting the not wanting Trump in makes sense to that as well.
Yes,
Because business-wise, that would be a bad business move
absolutely.
for him, and he knows that he feels that he feels that Biden is a fair man. He kind of respects him. Ironically, is what I'm sensing here, even though they're miles apart in lots of things, but he respects him as a he respects him. That's weird.
Did you know that, it's just a side thing I just thought of, did you know that she had Winnie the Pooh banned because everybody kept comparing him to Winnie the Pooh? It's a side note that he had him banned.
He had him banned because
you can't have Winnie the Pooh anything in China because they kept saying he looked like Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, Cassie told me that.
That's funny. Okay. So if anything, it looks like Biden may have been more secretive with Xi than Xi was secretive with him. Mm-hmm. That he kind of, but they did. The main card for the whole meeting is strength, and I feel like I got this on Wednesday too for the meeting. But that taming that lion, the feel like that, being able to have, in the picture you have this woman and the lion, and being able to hug. You know what I mean? So being able to have that strength, that strength, building that strength together. They are now. There were things that were not that they could not agree and meet with, but there were some that they could. And so, didn't get everything on the table that they need to, but there's more time. Biden did call him a dictator. Yeah, Apple. So there's some things there, but their main thing is to show that strength together type of feel. But Biden was way more withholding than she was.
That makes a lot of sense. But it is interesting because usually it is not that way with the Chinese. When they get together with the United States government, they're very, exact as to what they want. They never go into other territory that they're not absolutely trying to discuss right here and now. They won't, ad lib in any way. And it does feel like more, there was some of that with Biden because he did feel comfortable, or at least like he could kind of trust him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think he does find him to be fair, even if he doesn't like the United States and he doesn't, but I think you're right. I think he does find him to be kind of, and also likes the steadiness of him, his his normalness, but his steady, the way he sees things. He's a traditionalist, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a little bit of a comfort in a way, because Trump was so erratic and so weird, and so you never knew what he was going to do. And I think even countries like China were like, "What the what?"
Yeah, you can't trust him. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Statesman. Yeah, that's a good one, Annie Bear. A statesman.
Jody. Hi, Jody. And Jody's asking, will MAGA stay home from the polls if 45 isn't on the ballot in November?
I'll just say that I can look again, but I already saw that he would tell them to stay home. He would tell them to stay home. That don't bother going to the polls is what I heard. So it's like, don't even bother. I'm not on the ballot, so don't even go. Because he's all about him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to punish the Republicans if he doesn't get on the ticket.
Yeah,
that's what I saw. I mean, that was a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
but
it would be, yeah.
Yeah.
I can absolutely see that if he's not on the ballot. And also protests as well.
Yeah.
Because whatever narrative he's spinning, they're going to spin as well. And
although when you said protests, I heard sporadic. So here and there, not everywhere, but maybe certain southern states or whatever. But yeah, sporadic, right? Sporadic protests.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All his followers, it's all disappointment, apathy, and failure.
And I do feel like once he's gone, the MAGA's done. It will just deflate. There's nobody to take. They don't want anybody else. They just want him for some reason. The cult leader.
Yeah.
Once the cult leader's gone, the cult is dissolved. You know.
That's how it always works.
You had your card. Sorry.
And so, early on when I was first reading on this, my team showed me that there's something that happens that he ends up not being on the ticket. But I do hear from other readers that they feel he's going to be on the ticket, but he's not.
I've never seen him on the ticket, Debbie. So, and I mean, literally for like a year and a half, I cannot
never have.
And I see somebody who's a little more like a Nikki Haley or somebody like that, who's kind of a Christian-y kind of, tight ass kind of, that type.
Yeah.
And it just did not, and it didn't feel like a Trump energy either. Like it didn't feel like DeSantis or Ramaswamy or any of those other people. It just didn't. It feels more like an uptight Christian type, that kind of energy. Not to insult any Christians, that Christianity is fine, but you know what I'm saying. That type.
No, but the Project 2025, the Project 2025 group, that's who we're talking about, and they're the ones that are the Christian nationalists and
right.
And but yeah, well, I'm glad to know that you and me we're sticking to it.
And it makes me a little nervous, but I keep asking, and I'm like,
me too,
on the ticket. I don't know what happens. I don't know what goes amiss. Maybe he is convicted, and they're like, no, we draw the line at convicted criminals. Well, I mean, even though he is, he's been, he's definitely lost cases, but yeah. So we'll see what happens. But right now, I feel like something happens and he's off the ticket. So
yeah, I still get that as well. And until I'm shown different, I'll let you guys know, but that's how we're seeing it now. Okay.
But in a way, I feel like it might be better if he ran and lost again, and then maybe the Republicans will kind of look at themselves. But if they glide through, if they got in power again with some other, type or whatever, they may never look at themselves, and and this will just come around again in a worse form. So I'm on the fence, as to whether because if he's on the ticket, he'll lose. I know that. But at the same time, he's so triggering for so many people, including myself, that it would be nice not to see him involved at all.
Yeah. Now, Deb Z has a great question. We're going to get to that right next, but I wanted to look at this because this is what we're talking about. And Chris, thank you, by the way, for that kind donation. Some MAGAs are saying Trump or death. Are they actually meaning this? Is there a suicide pact from this mentally ill followers? So here's the deal. That is so cult. Every cult we've seen taken down, you have the followers who go down with it. Whether it's in the what was that one in where the all burned down, that one, and then you have all the cult stories. They're all in it till death. It's so weird.
We did a 4th of July show in I think it was 2020, because we were in the middle of the pandemic, and I was looking at Trump, and I got Jim Jones, the cult leader, and I was confused about it. But I kept saying, I saw Jim Jones, and the footage that they showed a million times when that happened, and they showed all of the bodies there. I kept seeing that, and I thought, well, afterwards, in hindsight, I thought, well, it could have been all the people that wouldn't get vaccinated and died during COVID. But now I'm thinking, is it something like this, where it's more directly just like Jim Jones? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I haven't heard of this, but that's weird.
So, do you remember how old you were when Jim Jones happened?
I think I was about 8 or 9, something
right.
like that.
And we had to watch that remember we had to.
Oh, it was on the news all the time. I remember that there was also a journalist murdered at the same time, and they would go back and forward for that footage to that footage, and it was just like, what in the world? And you almost couldn't believe what you were seeing.
Yeah, and I remember staring at the bodies laying there, and I was just like, it was very interesting to me. I mean, I'm horrible, but as a kid watching this, it was very impactful and horrific. And I remember even then trying to think of what they felt like at the time. And then, seeing the children, little kids, and I wondered what they felt like. And I was a kid. I was just like, I wonder what they were feeling, and I hope they weren't afraid. But to see all these people dead, and they kept showing it over and over. You guys remember this, Connie? Yeah, it was awful.
Well, and that's where that phrase "drink the Kool-Aid" came from. Is from Jim Jones. We forget where it came from because it's been in the zeitgeist for so long. But that is where it came from. And I remember the same thing, Debbie. And I remember thinking that I kept asking, because I was young, and I kept asking, because it was like they drank the Kool-Aid and they all died, and I was like, why did they run away? Why couldn't they get away? And it was very confusing to me as a kid, and my mom and dad were just like, well, they would have shot him or whatever. They said, they would just they would have shot him. They would have got, it didn't make it just was it was beyond horrific seeing that as a kid. It was, like I said, it was almost unfathomable. You kind of couldn't believe what you were seeing.
Yeah.
And Jackie Spear, that's right. She was, and that one guy was killed. The one congressman was killed, and then Jackie Spear was there. She got wounded.
That's right. Yep. I was older. I was older than you, but still a kid, and it was very impactful.
You were older than me then, but you're not anymore, right?
I'm not anymore. We're the same.
We're the same
age now, but back then I was older.
Oh no.
Just sad, but yeah, interesting question there with that, and I, people will end up acting this out in one way or another, like to the end. But I'm not, I don't have a clear vision of how it will play out, but and what individuals will do. But
well, and things like suicide, that's a free will decision. That is it can be in your contract, but it can also be a free will decision. So, but I can absolutely see some of his. I mean, they nearly fell off the deep end when he lost.
Yeah.
They really, that Stop the Steal really sustained a lot of them sticking around and sticking it out and, not freaking out. But
they were truly in fear when he lost.
Yes.
They
absolutely.
Terrified of what was going to happen to the country.
Exactly. Yeah, they were. And so if they think and who knows the rhetoric by that time, right? I mean, he is saying such awful things now, and he's not even, it's not even the nominations yet. So if he was in the running, you can imagine the stuff he'll be saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horrible. Yeah.
But that's why we pray for these people.
Yeah.
Because they are, they're damaged in some way, and they're also have been brainwashed by years and years and years of a news station telling them, keeping them in fear, keeping them paranoid, lying to them. That's why we pray for them. We pray for their enlightenment.
Yeah. Yes. Keep praying for their awakening, enlightenment. Okay, Deb, here we are. There are rumors that 45 is trying to get a plea deal with Letitia James. Do you see this happening? Plea deal? No. No.
I got chills on that he's trying, or that his lawyers are trying or something, but I don't feel like she's gonna. I feel like she won't allow it, or she won't do it.
Thank you, Firefly. Blessings to you.
But I did get chills on that he's trying, or somebody's trying on his behalf.
Yes, I do feel that, but she's going to stand her ground. She's all about justice and yeah.
And you're right, Joni. He'd never admit guilt, and so it may be some ridiculous offer that they're making, that doesn't even make sense. But I am getting that somebody's trying.
He's so. But I have judgment and justice coming in. She's not gonna. I don't feel that she's very clear on her path with this.
Yeah, and Chris Martin, I agree with you. It doesn't necessarily feel like him trying to do this or talking about this, but it does feel like his team.
Oh, interesting.
His team, because why? Because he's going to lose. He's going to lose. He's going to go to jail.
He literally, here he is. He really thinks that he doesn't. I think you're right about that. It's not him trying to get this plea. It's not him. He thinks he has it, but
look how happy he is. Yeah.
And here he is in the end. So he's blind. He's blinded. Look I have 2 cards with him blind.
Oh, wow. He's all ego. He's completely immersed in his ego. His spirit is taking a back seat and not going to be coming up front for, anytime soon, unless he has some kind of grand awakening in prison. But
yeah,
he's all ego. And it's a good lesson for us though, to see it so blatantly, such a blatant example of ego, because that's exactly what he is.
Just playing out. Mm-hmm. Woo!
Bless you with a tiny sneeze.
Tiny sneeze. The whole roof comes up when I sneeze. All right. Go. Okay, that was just a statement. That was a statement. Lots of great statements. Okay. Carol, hello.
Carol.
Carol is feeling that the meeting with she would not have happened if Putin was still around. And so wondering what's going on with him.
Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah.
Last time I checked in. Oh, someone. I think on Wednesday, someone asked, "What would Mussolini? Was it Mussolini? Or no, it was Cheslavic or whatever. A dead dictator. What would the dictator say to Putin now? So I checked in, and the first thing I heard from whatever his name is, someone will remind Cruz. Thank you. Yeah, Jamie, thank you. He said, "Welcome home." So
really,
yeah, welcome home. But then he went totally in on how he was misguided and blah blah blah. He did all this. He had lots of things to say to him, from what I can remember. But my sense too, when I step into his inner, he has one foot there and one foot here. So I don't know what that means.
Interesting.
It's part here, part there. And yeah. I don't know if that's like it anymore, but when I checked in on Wednesday, that's what I was feeling. But I found it welcome home. Welcome home.
That's interesting. I keep getting injections, unsteadiness, like not upright, like not up on his feet. And injections, or I always get that with him. Like the last few times I've looked at him, I keep getting like injections, and I feel like he's underground. At least when he's, I don't know if he's always underground, or if he's, I don't mean like in tunnels or something. It always feels like it's like low and dark.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever he is. It doesn't feel like a grave. It just feels like it's low and dark.
Yeah. 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 I do feel there's not much movement right now in his physical being. And it's a very it's not a good outlook right now physically for him. You have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse and the Four of Cups there. That's not a good outlook for him. It's cause and effect to what he's physically going through right now. It's just part of his health, whatever he's going through already. So I don't see, I'm not seeing a way out for him right now.
Mm-hmm. So. Annie Bear thinks he died months ago.
Oh, okay.
So that could be. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
I've tried to bring him in from the other side, and And that's where he has 1 foot there and 1 foot here. So maybe he did die months ago, but they're keeping him alive with all these shots.
It does. That seems
plugs and
kind of more what I'm feeling is like that it's kind of, he might be in and out of his body or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, Cash Peter saw him going underground in a crypt.
Oh, saw him underground in a crypt.
Someone said he has bunkers. Yeah, but I'm seeing like a dark underground place.
Yeah. Black. All right. We have time. Go. There's one that I wanted to. Okay. Oh, Sunshine. Sunshine. Hello. Hi, Gigi. Okay. What is Elon's story? Is he a threat to America?
He's not supposed to be, but he's lost his way, is what I'm getting.
And I heard he's misfiring. He's misfiring. Misfire. Yeah. He can't. He's when you're unchallenged and always right, and he's starting to misfire. I don't know how else to describe this. Yeah.
Is it possible that he was in Atlantis? I keep getting Atlantis with him.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Because didn't they have tons of like technology and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like it was like it's gone. Whatever he came here to do has kind of gone awry. He's off track, or he's off what he's supposed to do. He's caught up in stuff that he didn't want to get. You know, it's like he's on a course right now that wasn't what it was meant to be. He's off course.
Yeah. He's off balance. There you go. Reading my cards again.
Yeah.
Off balance. Literally, it says lack of balance.
For some reason, I keep hearing Atlantis. So
yeah,
it has something to do with the stuff, the stuff he brought in, or whatever his way of thinking, or whatever. But something is with that.
Yeah. And he's having some mental health issues as well. Okay. When you get these two together, the Nine of Swords and the Four of Swords, that's all mental health.
Oh, wow.
Alongside the low energy card, the Page of Wands in reverse. Yeah. So, misfiring. That makes sense to what they were saying with the misfiring with that. Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I'm sure there's more going on with him, more mental things going on with him, but greed is a sickness. Greed to this degree, when you're a billionaire and you just need more and more and more, it's an illness. That's a sickness. It's an illness. It's an addiction. It's not normal. It's not normal to want more money than you could ever spend in 1 or 2 lifetimes. It makes no sense. Yeah.
He's, I keep asking this question: is he a threat to America? Is he a threat to America? And all I'm getting in response is he's a threat to himself. He's a threat to himself. At this point, at this time, he's a threat to himself. And I keep asking, is he a threat to America? And that's the only response I'm getting. But let's check.
They're showing me Howard Hughes. I'm wondering if maybe he'll become like that, kind of reclusive, shut himself away at some point. You know what I mean? That's what I think of when I think of Howard Hughes. But and it's after like a few failures that he, kind of shuts himself away and goes away. So maybe there's something to that as well. Maybe he'll have a few things that kind of rock his ego. And he's just Twitter. If he had just left it alone, he probably would have made money. But of course, he's got to tinker with it and thinks he knows best. And now it's worth nothing. He's losing money every day.
Every day. And that's exactly what I called when he bought it. I'm like, oh,
yeah, same.
I'm not getting that he's a threat to America.
Yeah, I'm not really getting. I don't feel that either.
No.
But he is off path and apparently a threat to himself. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's go here, and we can. Should we pull a card for a oracle card for the family? And Kim and I want to encourage you guys to continue to just spread your love and light for us here in the United States, but also peace for peace. Susan Bames says, is 45 a threat to America? Yes.
Good.
That is.
Well, I pulled one of my cards and I got this one. As you can see it. I don't know if you can see it very well. It is presence, number 21. Today, my prayer of intention is presence. May I go through today's activities aware, alert, and in the power of the present moment. So I think, my guides always tell me when I get overwhelmed to either go really, really small or really, really big. Stay out of the past and future, just deal with today's activity. What are you doing today? What's happening today in your small little world? Or do big picture. We're all learning from these things. We are all going to grow from these things. There is no death. We are all going to go on. This is, that kind of thing. So this makes sense to me. So I hope that helps.
Yeah.
What did you do,
I also, I pulled 3 angel cards, and I have the angel of awareness coming in. Here's our angel of awareness, and reflecting and look deep within. And stay in awareness and what truly matters in your life, your consciousness, your soul, your inner angel. And that's where all meaning, wisdom, and healing resides. So that awareness piece coming in, and the angel of purpose. You are extraordinary. You are purposed. And learn to evolve from every experience, and always reconnecting to that loving and infinite energy within you and around you. And you can see this angel has that light kind of coming out like that. And then the angel of gratitude, the angel of thanks. So staying in that space of gratefulness, finding gratefulness, whether it's just the sunset or a beautiful painting or I woke up today. Stay in the flow of gratefulness.
Love that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Instant vibration lightener, lifter, you know.
Yes. So beautiful, you guys. We love you. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight on Newsflash FriYay. And check us out on our individual channels. And we have stuff all the time. And so I feel like, yeah, next week is you have Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Live. Thursday Night Live.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, just be looking for our stuff and continue to shine your light. We love you guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.